Welcome back to another video, everyone. Kurt Singh here with another Open Ultra League video. I've got my best buddy 4-star Umbreon. I got Golisopod and Toxicroak. All of them actually happen to be ranked number 1 for Ultra League. So let's get into the battles here and see how this works. I've got Umbreon on the lead with Foul Play and Last Resort. I feel like it's a good tank, so if I don't win lead, I don't have to necessarily switch out right away unless maybe I'm against a fairy or like a really strong fighter or something. And then I'm using Golisopod with Shadow Claw, X-Scissor, and Liquidation, the new move it got, as my safe switch. And it's working pretty good to draw out the things that might be hard for Toxicroak to take care of. So here you've got Tapu Fini coming into Umbreon. And so I'm going to throw the Last Resort, and then I'll dip out into my Golisopod, and they bring back in Jirachi. The nice thing is, with the coverage that it has with the Shadow Claw, X-Scissor, and Liquidation, it can hit a lot of things for decent damage, whether it's neutral or super effective. And this is my first time using it, actually, and it's actually pretty tanky, so I like that about it. And then Toxicroak in the back, great fighter. The Mud Bomb update has really helped that. It's good against the steels, running Sludge Bomb with it, so good against the grass types or your fairies. So here I bring in my Umbreon back into the Jirachi. Not going to shield up the Doom and Desire. They bring back in Tapu Fini, and I switch in my Toxicroak. My plan here is to shield the Surfs, and then I'm going to farm up to the Sludge Wave, or the Sludge Bomb. I shield that up. And the neat thing about Toxicroak, even though it's like a fighting Pokemon, right? Like it's got the counter, and fighting, it's not taking super effective as much from the fairies. It still takes really super effective, as you can see from the Psychic moves, because Psychic is super effective to fighting and poison. So here you see a Toxicroak on the lead in the next battle. So I'm going to stay in, and again, I'm going to throw a Last Resort at it. And then I believe I tip into my Golisopod. Yes. So I catch what should be the Mud Bomb here. Sludge, then they sent the Sludge Bomb. So now they bring in a Pelipper. Pelipper's wing attack is going to do super effective to the bug typing on Golisopod. But I'm able to get the Liquidation off, and I think I make another one, and they're just trying to fully farm down. So you're going to throw the Liquidation at it, gets the shield, and the defense drop. So that's really nice for me. So now I bring back in my Umbreon. I'm not going to shield anything here. Oh, I do shield. Never mind. Last second I thought maybe they had the Hurricane. So now I can safely no shield because they've already sent the Weather Ball, and they sent Hurricane. So I was completely out to lunch on this battle here on what I did and didn't do. I knew they had enough energy. But anyways, they let that Foul Play go through. Takes them out, and then they've got Nidoqueen in the back, and they surrender. So good game to my opponent there. Right into the next battle. Got Muck into my Umbreon. This is a fairly neutral matchup. They're not going to really hurt me with any of their moves, but I'm also not going to do a ton of damage to them. What I would really like to do is have my Toxicroak against it. But as you all know, you don't want to switch your best answer into it, and then have them switch out and kill your best answer and then be stuck trying to figure out how to beat it. So here I'm going to basically stay in. I'm going to throw Last Resort at it, try to get as much damage as I can. You can see I've already got into the yellow. They're choosing not to shield, so that's fine by me. Even a Dark Pulse here doesn't do too much damage. I'm able to get to another Last Resort, and I believe they probably will start shield at some point here. They just let it go. They just let me fully take them out, and then they bring in a Sylveon. So I go into the Golisopod with the Liquidation, and they did a nice catch onto Gyarados. So I think If they crunch me, it'll take me out, but they just do an Aqua Tail, so I can live that, and I go for another liquidation. They shield that, and I get to an X Scissor. I wasn't going to make it to another liquidation, so I just figured I'd get as much damage off as I could, and then they fully take me out. And so here, I know that they've got Crunch and Aqua Tail. So bring in Umbreon. They're not going to be able to really farm me down, so they have to throw. So I'm going to save both shields for Toxicroak in the back. And that didn't quite take me out, and then they get another move through. So now I come in, and I'm going to commit to the farm down here to get some energy. So I burn a shield, just the Aqua Tail. Now they got one Pokemon left as well, and it's the Sylveon. So now I have to get to 2 Sludge Bombs to be able to take them out. So I'm going to shield the first Psyshock. And then I should be able to reach 2 Sludge Bombs. I throw just before. I should get the shield. And then one more Sludge Bomb should take them out completely. Yeah, there we go. So that's a good game to my opponent. Well played. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have a Golisopod made, or even an Ultra League Toxicroak. I actually just made Toxicroak for the Ultra League here just a few days ago. Burnt about 600,000 Stardust making it. So I'm kind of low on Stardust now. Going for a last resort here against Pidgeot. And doesn't do very much damage there. I think Foul Play might be the best option. It's a lot faster, you can get to 2, but they're Feather Dancing me as well, so it definitely gonna drop my attack. Just slowly chipping away. So I do a last resort, do a Foul Play, do a last resort. I wasn't 100% sure which one was going to do more. They look like they're both doing about the same, so I think Foul Play probably would be the way to go. You get to them faster. So then throw the Brave Bird. Fine by me. I'm going to go for another last resort. Like I say, I don't want to give up a shield for Umbreon. It's such a tank that you don't really want to give up the shields for it. So now they bring in the Jellicent. It would have been really nice to have Umbreon still alive, and that's something that I still need to work on in my gameplay, is identifying when somebody isn't switching out a lead, just like I'm not, because I'm kind of like, oh, well, I'm not really sure if I have a better answer, right? Pidgeot, Flying, both Pokemon in the back are weak to it, so I didn't really want to switch out, but they're not switching out, so at some point I need to try to identify, okay, well, they're probably really weak to Umbreon in the back, maybe I should switch out and try to draw something else out. But Golisopod actually has a fairly decent matchup here with the liquidation move and just able to chip them down, drop their defense. As you can see, I almost took them out there, and then they bring in Scrafty in the back and give up the match. So well played by my opponent. Definitely kind of a tricky one with that lead that I had. Now here I have Jellicent into Umbreon, so right away I'm going to switch. They switched their Umbreon into mine, so I counter with Toxicroak. So I won the lead and switch. Well, I haven't won switch yet, but they aren't going to want to see my Toxicroak. Mod Bombs are going to do decent amount. As you can see, Umbreon is just such a tank. So I'm going to shield up this last resort, just save some energy, and then I think that I decide to let this one go and farm down. And I've got 2 Mud Bombs loaded, and I want to try to save the energy. So I switch into my Umbreon, and they switch back out into their last Pokemon, which is Escavalier. So now I'm like, oh man, I kind of messed up on that because I switch locked myself in, and of course they took their Jellicent out and away from my Umbreon. So let's see, and then they Mega Horn me, of course. So now my Umbreon is gonna die, But I do have quite a bit of energy on Toxicroak, so I should be able to have some play here, get some energy on Golisopod. Just let this one go. Drillren doesn't do too much. Now we're even shields. My Toxicroak is almost dead, but my thought here is if I can get their last shield and or I can drop their defense, then I'll be in a pretty good spot with Toxicroak. So we're going to let this go. I think I live a Shadow Ball. Yeah, I do live a Shadow Ball from there. So throw another Liquidation. And that should get, yeah, that gets him to yellow. So from here, I'm thinking, okay, I'll throw the X Scissor. If they shield, awesome. And if they don't shield, I still have 2 Mud Bombs. So I should be able to get that shield and then take them out. But they ended up shielding, so now I should be good to go. Even if that doesn't quite take them out, I have the next one, but I threw a counter instead of the Mud Bomb. So good game to my opponent there. And as you can see, that was a 5-0 set. Really fun team. I like both Golisopod and Toxicroak. Both new Pokemon for the Ultra League for me. So it was a lot of fun to do these battles. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like or a comment below. Let me know if you're liking the content. I keep trying to get better and better. And I hope you guys enjoy it. See you in the next one.